SJ, happy baby name Monday. Today's list is a really trendy boy name list. I reckon you're going to absolutely love it. Make sure you have pen and paper or your phone to write these down. If you're looking for a boy name, you're definitely going to find one here you love, because what I've done is taken all the names that we most often hear at Baby Name Envy, the baby name consultancy that I run with my sister, and then you guys voted, hundreds of you voted on your absolute favourites. So then I have the top 16. Number one spot, I must say, did surprise me. I absolutely love it, but it wasn't massively on my radar, certainly not the last couple of years, and it is in with a boom. It had so many votes, it had 158 votes just on that name alone, and yeah, we had hundreds of you votes. Let me go through. At number 16 was the name Jericho. So you know that I love this name. It's a really trendy name at the moment. It means City of the Moon, so it's got that going for it, and it's just a really current sounding name. So that name came in at number 16. At number 15 is the name Wild. So that's been really cool, and it's been around for a little while in replacing Wilder. So Wilder is higher up in the charts, but a lot of us have started to really like it without the R at the end, and it's a bit like when we like rivers instead of river with the S on the end, or banks and things like that. So I actually think that Wild is up on the rise, and middle spots at the moment, so a good way of making that sort of a traditional name a bit cooler, but we'll see if it starts to take off. At number 14 is the name Koa. Have you heard the name Koa a lot lately? It's on a lot of name lists at the moment. It's kind of got Beau vibes, so sort of more spiritual vibe. It means brave, so a really meaningful name as well for a lot of people, but I just think it's really nice, a really strong alternative obviously to Noah, which is so high up the charts. At 13 was the name Ted. A lot of you really like the name Ted still. Teddy or Ted or Edward, shorter form of course. It means gift. So still a really, really good choice. And some people go, oh, am I cool enough for a Ted? But it's actually getting more mainstream now than it was obviously when the rest of us maybe grew up. Ted is really out there as a really popular name, short and sweet, really good one. At 12, is Bodhi. You must have heard of Bodhi. It's on so many people's lists, and I mentioned that actually I did have a little girl called Bodhi in one of my daughter's classes, baby classes, and I loved it for a little girl. So cute with Beau as a nickname. Bodhi, still really popular. I did a whole list of Sanskrit baby names if you like that type of spiritual name, because it is a massive trend at the moment, meaning awakening, beautiful name. At 11 is the name Rowan, which is interesting because it's one of the fastest rising names on the UK charts at the moment as well, Rowan, but we picked it at number 11, meaning strong, but of course we really think of it as the place of Rome. It's a bit like the male equivalent now of Florence, isn't it? Florence is just so popular, and now it seems to be Roman. I know a few little Romans, and I really do like it. It's a very strong word name, so there's no way I would have got that past my husband. He didn't like any names that were like a word as well, which was kind of limiting, especially for me. At number 10 is the name Elias. So that means Lord is my God, Elias. So really cool alternative Hebrew name. They're still massively popular. They're still right at the top of the charts as well. We've seen Ezra really go bonkers the last couple of years. So Elias might be an alternative for you, and I really like Eli as a nickname. I do think it's really lovely for boys, and I did look at that one actually when I was naming my boys. And number 9 is the name River. So we talked about it earlier, how it could be rivers. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous name, so popular with modern parents, for boys and for girls. Actually, it's one of the fastest rising names for both genders, so you can see why. It's really nice. We're so into outdoor and nature names. It's a humongous trend after lockdown as well, particularly, or some of you obviously are still in lockdown, but River is out there, and it's so funny because it would have been such a hippie name 5-10 years ago, and now it's just getting more and more mainstream. They're all really cool, these names. And number 8 is Sunny. I absolutely adore this name. It would definitely be really high on my list if I was having another baby boy, but I just think it's gorgeous. It's got the sort of thought of the sunshine and summer, but it's obviously meaning your son or your child, so it's just a really, really cool one. Nickname as first name as well, so tons going for Sunny. And number 7 is the name Evander. kind of opposite because it's longer, isn't it? It's kind of one of those more longer, more romantic names, I think, and rugged romance is like a huge trend for the boy names. You can kind of see that through a lot of them. Evander kind of means good man, so it's got a really lovely meaning as well. If you're into the meanings of names, obviously, if you're watching this channel, probably are, but I do love Evander. Nice to see it so high up. And number 6 is the name Remy. So quite high up, isn't it? Remy, compared to all those ones that have come before, Remy is really, really high. It means oarsman, so it's a French name. I think it's the name of the little rat in Ratatouille. But it's really on so many name lists at the moment that I get sent. I get sent a lot of requests for ideas for names, and a lot of people are like, this is one of the ones that was our front runner. All of these are taken from that sort of pool, and then you voted. So lots of people voted for Remy. How many votes did Remy get? I've written down the number of votes somewhere. Remy, 78 votes for Remy, so really, really high up. At number 5 was Otis, which was one of the fastest rising boy names of the year, taken from Sex Education, the TV show. It means wealth. I think it's also just a great alternative to Oliver, which is the number 1, and if Oliver's just so overdone now, you can skip to Otis. So I can see why it's really, really trendy and popular. That had 86 votes. Felix is at number 4, so this is the top 4 now. I'm so surprised by the first top 2, but yeah, Felix, I'm not surprised by it. I do really like it. It's probably in a lot of our sweet spots with that name, that's got a bit of edge with the X at the end, but is quite straightforward and traditional as well. So a really lovely name, and it means lucky, which is always really nice. I know so many people who go for Felix as their sort of second or third child, because it's also, I think, just really playful and spirited as a name, so really, really nice. And number 3 is the name Finn, with 109 of your votes for your number 1 name. So I have a little boy called Finn, so I was quite happy about that. I thought maybe they chose it because of me. That'd be nice. But it's just an enduringly popular name. So my Finn is now 8, and when I chose it, it was quite a really, really rare name, and kind of boomed afterwards, but he's still the only Finn in his year. Although my older son has a Finn in his class, which is quite funny. So I absolutely love the name. Obviously I've chosen it. I loved the fact that to me it sounded really modern compared to Frederick. I have a Frederick who goes by Freddie, and I quite like the idea that it was kind of like a vintage name, and then Finn being a really, really modern name, and just short and sweet. It feels really outdoorsy and gorgeous to me. It means fair, which is perfect for us because we're all blondies in my family, but doesn't really matter. And obviously Flynn as well is around, but Finn, so high up, so many votes for it. Now the top 2, at number 2 is the name Rowan. So we talked about Roman earlier. There were so many votes for Rowan. I was really surprised. It means there is the Rowan tree, but it also means redhead, little redhead, which is really, really gorgeous. So Rowan had 112 votes, so really high up there. Considering, say, Jericho had 24, so it was a really lot. We had hundreds of votes. So thank you everyone who took part over on Baby Name Envy Instagram. That's where you can find all the polls if you want to take part. Rowan, so high up. Really, really interesting one. So if you've got that on your list, you know that it is really popular amongst the community here and over on Baby Name Envy, which is all like mums to be or like name enthusiasts. So it's not so high up the charts, but really popular for us at number 2. Any guesses for what could be number 1? I wonder if you'd get it. I wouldn't have got it, but it is the name August. Is our number 1 boy name. How cool is that? So we have August at number 1. It means exalted, but of course is the month. So another word name right up high on the chart. It's such a gorgeous name. I was just surprised because I wonder if it's a bit of a guilty pleasure one that's not so out there being used right yet, but it is on the rise. We do have a royal baby named August as well, so that's made it a bit more traditional and mainstream and might sort of sell it a little bit more. It's got gorgeous nicknames with Gus. I love the nickname Gus, but I know a lot of you love the nickname Augie as well, which is a really cool name. So August is your number 1 choice, and it was right up there. I had 158 votes, so many. It was like head and shoulders above the ones below it. So yeah, what do you reckon? I love this boy name list in general. I should have said which one I think is my favourite. I think my favourite one, I think I would maybe go for Jericho because I really like it. And my sister might be getting another pet and she's going to call it Jericho if she does, but I am getting a cat, so you're going to have to have me near my cat, my kitten. I'm getting it on the weekend. Maybe I'll call it Jericho and annoy her. But I do absolutely also love Koa. Really stands out for me. I think it's just so, that sort of surfer vibe I really like as well. So yeah, I loved the name choices, so I write more ones down at the bottom. Let me know which is your favourite from this list below, and let me know any ideas for a name list you would love me to research for you. I do take requests, you can leave them below and I will do some requests for next week. If you love baby names, you can get involved with this channel by hitting subscribe, sharing with a pregnant friend really helps me out. And there is also a podcast called Baby Name Envy where we go through all of your name dilemmas, and that will be back very soon with a few new episodes. But there are 28 there that you can go back and listen to already. That's me solving real name dilemmas, so super fun to get involved with. And then there's Baby Name Envy over on Instagram where we run polls and dilemmas as well. You can go ahead and find us over there and DM us over there. Lots of love, guys. I will see you next Monday. Bye.